Hi there, I'm Questy and welcome back to Shadows Awakening. Alright, we are wandering the Tamurian wilds. We've discovered in the last episode that we need to find some avatars or spirits, totems that relate to the 4 phases of the moon, which we are eventually going to try and do. Otherwise, we're just kind of scouting around and taking a look at the area. Assuming that in good time, we are going to find all of that stuff. And we have been finding these tougher opponents as well, because it turns out there's actually a pretty cool mechanic for these werewolves, in which they have this shadow world form that you must kill in order to bring down their shields. So as you can see here, I've got to deal with this, this little fella here. I'm actually going to deal with the ads as well, because we are just taking quite a bit of extra damage that we probably don't need to by just leaving them alive. But yeah, they did something kind of... Oh, there's a nice slay opportunity right there. Okay. Okay, that werewolf is still going to be up, but we can do massive amounts of murder on everything else here. Okay, so we're going to have to take down his little crony again here. Isn't too hard. These guys aren't particularly tough. And then we're actually going to switch over to this guy, because this guy is kind of tough. But this, you know, my wolf dude can do a ton of damage now. So can my caster, so can Evia, but she's just been taking a bit of a beating because I've been using her quite a bit. So we'll be careful about that. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, I do like, you know, they are doing something a little bit interesting with the Shadow World mechanics there. And I know I've complained about that before, that, you know, it's maybe not that exciting what they do with it a lot of the time, but that has been changing. They have been doing some more interesting stuff. Okay, we're going to... take advantage of this guy's ability to engage large groups. Same here. We'll draw them in. We'll fuck them up. There we go. All right, good stuff. We're going to give her a bit of a break, though, because like I say, she's been taking a lot of damage. Oh. Those should be pretty easy for me to dodge. They are, however, not. Okay. Looks like he was putting down a totem of some kind there, probably healing or something like that, but I actually didn't really see. Noble's Ring, you say? Interesting. I'm always down for a little bit of that. Okay, so speaking of the attrition damage we've been taking, we do have this little shrine that can heal us here. And we are packing full soul stones too, so we might even be being a little bit overcautious when it comes to using our healing items and stuff like that. But I'm always okay with that. I mean, with the ability to switch between all these characters, it means we have a lot of options, so we can kind of let each individual character rest up on the bench a little bit until the big game, i.e. the boss fight. All right, let's take a look around. We do have a couple other ghosts here to kill, using the freeze just to reduce the amount of damage taken during this kill, measuring out those sweet, sweet soulstone charges. Okay, there we go. So in terms of the to the moon wilds, okay, so it strikes me that this is probably where we're going to really get underway when it comes to finding those totems that we're supposed to find. So let's get in there and have a look around. That's kind of been the pattern of this game. Like most things, what's going on, you're just sort of in a space, and if you've explored it all, you just kind of get the drops, right? Like it is quite a linear game. Again, the art and everything is really nice. It's a nice looking game and stuff like that. In terms of gameplay, it is maybe a little bit lightweight, I would say. Okay, let's try to tie these up here. We're gonna have to obviously do the wolf kill here again, just to get that werewolf vulnerable. Okay, and then we're gonna switch out to this guy to take advantage of it. Okay, there's a crit. Didn't really get as much damage as I would have liked to there. So let's take this down again. Let's get the freeze out if we can. Oh, we're out of mana, so that's the issue that we've got here. Okay, yeah, there's the healing totem that I was expecting. Okay, wait a minute. I actually thought that I had him handled. Apparently I do not. He's invisible or something? That's a little weird. All right, I'm gonna have to drop a soul stone here as well. Okay, there he is again. Okay, let's drop the freeze. We are being challenged a little bit to keep our mana up. Okay, let's get this going down. Let's get the damage on him right now. Shit. Not what I meant to do. And I fucking squandered it by getting my keystrokes all fucked up. And we've got another ad there, which is just annoying. There we go, finally. All right, that was clumsy, but that was mainly my fault. That was definitely not on the game at all there. That was just me being a dickbag about figuring out how to actually chain my attacks from one character to the next. These are relatively good fights though. I've definitely got to give some props for that difficulty curve increasing a tiny bit, and meaning that I actually do have to engage with all the mechanics that they have here. Like the Shadow Realm mechanics have actually become important. That said, when it comes to stuff like this, still pretty straightforward. We've got the abilities to handle pretty much everything that the game is throwing at me right now. Just sometimes I get my fingers in a twist and fail when it comes to my combos and stuff like that. Monsters also, what I'm noticing is they tend to be fairly spread out. So you can see that I actually have time to recharge my abilities before I really have to worry about them again. I'm going to switch over to her because her base attack is really chewing these guys up sometimes. Not so much this time, as if to prove me wrong. The other thing with her is that she tends to have a full mana bar pretty much all the time, as opposed to the other characters. I've put in so many mana recovery techniques on her. Okay, there we go. Okay, we do have another werewolf over there, but I'm not gonna complain about the fact that we're pulling all of these ads. And then we can hopefully pull him after. Yeah, okay, there he goes. He's getting in on it. We're gonna have to freeze down here. We'll do our damage if we can to this guy pretty quick. And then we're gonna switch back over to this guy. And we're actually gonna berserk as well. Put some damage on this dude. We're getting some good splash damage. Okay, that was a waste though. That's too bad. Okay, there we go. We can actually kill this ad as well, which is probably worth our time to do. And we'll bring this guy down. We're going to switch to this guy this time. And then we'll switch again. We'll drop that. Light him up with a couple of attacks. And then to her. Let's get a tank on him again. Okay, he's really low mana. Let's actually charge him up a little bit. Okay. There we go. That's going to be the kill. No troubles. All right, we have been picking up a couple of items too, so I'm not against taking a look at what we're actually getting. We got this stunning bug mace. I mean, again, that's great and shit. 4% slay chance, I guess, is okay. This would be a weapon for him, probably. Not usable by Czar. Oh. Okay, well, maybe this is, maybe these are weapons for the Berserker guy that we don't have. He can use some maces, he cannot use others. That's interesting. Oh, it's two-handed, that's why. Okay, I get it. All right, well, that one isn't particularly interesting. We did find a shaman something or another, as well. It was not in this slot. Man, it would be amazing if the inventory was a little bit easier for me to muddle through here. Steel warden boots. Pretty shit. I already checked that. Let's check necklace. Okay, there we go. Shaman pendant. Plus 10% casting speed. Let's take a quick look at our main caster and see what she's got on. So she has that storm amulet, which is increasing her mana regen. It's increasing her damage against elementals. It's giving her 10% freeze and silence immunity. That is a pretty powerful item. So basically giving her that shaman pendant would improve her survivability a smidge, and it can be buffed. Let's take, we've got a little bit of money on hand here, so let's take a quick look at what we can do to add essence to this. Oh, look at this. We actually have a tier 2 blight essence. Unfortunately, that's a relatively useless one. It just buffs our damage against vermin. That's not that useful. Okay, and it looks like the casting speed is what we have in there already. So that's a tier 2 essence that's already socketed. For Christ's sake, why mouse wheel do you do that when all I really want to do is scroll this menu over here? Okay. This would add hit points. See, because the 10% cast speed is pretty nice, right? So I'd like to throw something in here. Okay, so we can put might in. And then, wait, why am I now, can I please, why does it switch me to this item? Okay, so now we've got the mana regen, which we wouldn't be losing from the Storm Amulet. Now the other thing it has is it has the 10% immunities. Those are not super powerful, I wouldn't say. So I think at this point, it is possibly, you know, we could look at just adding some of this other stuff. That said, this is all pretty fucking pointless stuff. I mean, I don't know, like, are these furries, are they humanoids? I would imagine they are, but that's like a very small buff. I mean, the only other thing that would make much sense is putting this in there for the extra 100 hit points. Is that worth 2,000? It's not. But at this point, what I would say is actually putting this on now is not such a bad idea, right? That one does have those immunities, but realistically, I don't know. I guess my defense rating goes down a little bit. My survivability goes up a little bit. But I get 10% cast speed. And the cast speed, you know what? Let's try it. Because that cast speed is pretty useful for just kiting, basically, right? Essentially, it means that I can cast and run faster, which is useful to me. Okay, well, let's have a poke around. Let's fuck him up. Like, she's snappy. She actually feels quick, which I like. Like, you can see that I'm actually able to, like, technically outmaneuver these guys, even though the movement is a little clunky sometimes. Melark Warhorse. Do tell. What the fuck is even that? That's got to be something for this guy, maybe? Yeah, there you go. All right, this actually requires next level. It's an attack rating buff, even though we have a legendary equipped. And the reason is it's almost 3 times the level. So I'm thinking we should probably save our scratch so that we can buff this up. Because we're going to want that extra attack rating. We're way behind. We're like, you know, we're more than twice behind our level. Okay, so interesting drops. A couple of interesting drops here as well. That's also good. Let's just search the area with this guy. I don't want to miss anything. Don't want to miss anything. Okay, but it looks like we're going to be proceeding ahead. Let's actually go down here first. It probably just links up down here if I'm being honest, but we'll just check it out. You know what? I'm an idiot. You know what? This is the way to kill these guys, man. Just use this dude. He's so much better off against these dudes. And then they are not giant fans of her fire magic. There we go. Like, his fan shot is quite useful. It is quite useful indeed. All right, let's have a poke around. Freeze him down. Okay, we got Temurian Greatbow, which is of no use to anyone. Oh, and Medium Essence of Life. Okay, we are starting to get the higher tier components. That's good. That is indeed good. All right, let's keep moving though. We've got this little bridge here. Lots of, oh, hello. Lots of exploration going on here. Oh, he's still alive, even though his health bar is gone. Showing that characters and creatures can actually survive with no health bar. Okay, so we're gonna hold this up and we'll just drop this on them. These guys are fucked because the tree dudes do not like fire, which is pretty in keeping. I think there's a thing in like D&D, I can't remember if this is true, I might be completely insane, but I think they're actually resistant to fire. Like, I think somebody had a good idea, like, you know what, let's just like cheat people's expectations by having the tree guys be resistant to fire. I disapprove. It's one of those things where there's really no reason for it at all. They're made out of wood. But again, I guess the counter argument to that is just the fact that like nobody should be resistant to fire. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen anyone get like flash burned or something like that. It's like nobody's resistant to fire. And that's kind of that's the takeaway, right? Like, people just can't deal with fire. It's as simple as that. The amount of damage that can be done to a living creature in less than a second of being exposed to a source of thermal energy is catastrophic, right? So realistically, whenever you get into talking about resistances and stuff like that, it's all completely nonsense. Oh, hello. Wait, what? My inventory is full. How dare you, game? How dare you? All right. Well, that's interesting. Okay. We're going to have to get into this. Now, this is exactly the spot where I wish the game just gave me my entire fucking inventory on one screen so that I could see everything. Because shit like this, I totally don't need, right? I want to sell it, but I also want to pick up this thing that's on the ground. So I'm going to have to junk it. Now, presumably when I junk it, is it going to disappear? Inventory is still full. So I don't get it. Like, what do I do? Okay, drop it maybe? Thank you. Okay, so now I've got these Seasoned Raider gauntlets. Let's take a look at what those are. Okay, they're level 13, so we can't actually wear them, but they are a nice upgrade for somebody, I'm sure. Okay, full inventory is actually going to be an issue. We need to find the next waypoint, we need to head back, and we need to do some merchant nonsense. I'll probably do that off screen because that is boring as fuck while I navigate the intensely shit menus that go along with it. I honestly, there's one of those things where I feel like it's so obviously shitty that I think I must be misunderstanding how to use the menus, right? Like, surely they would not leave us in a situation where we had to dig through the menu one item slot at a time. Like, surely that's not what they're doing, and I must just be missing something.
You're not worthy of fighting me.
You are not worthy of fighting me, but I apparently... Okay, that's 2 Dura tier. That is apparently where we need to really suppress the werewolves. That's their city, I think, as well. So that's going to be quest progress right there. And I'm wondering if that's where I'll have to go to get to the next waypoint as well. I suppose let's just kind of poke around. Well, would you look at that? Okay, I mean, I would probably have loved to have responded to that a little bit more readily while they were approaching from over here, but instead, I mean, it's pointless, so I guess there's that going in my... Okay, so once again, here we are. We've got this fucking nonsense. All right, drop that, drop that. Please don't walk back over it. Don't pick it up. Okay, Raider's shirt and a satin sash. Raider's shirt, that could be any of these. So that's a level 11. That's going to be an inherent upgrade right away. 5% blunt resistant, 10% poison resistance. Let's pop that on. Oh, actually looks pretty good too. That's cool. I like it. I mean, we're still going with the boob armor look, but I don't fundamentally have any argument with that. They've done a reasonably good job on the boob armor. All right, and then let's see if that is an upgrade for this dude here. He's got poor chitin plates, so yes it is. It's +6 defense, a little more armor there. All right, we're good to go. We really, really, really need to get back to town. That's something that's becoming a thing now, because we just don't have enough room to keep exploring even. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go forward to Duratar. I'm going to change to him. Duratar? Is that really what it's called? Duratir. Durotar. Duratar. It wasn't that the one in Warcraft? I think it was. Durotar. Zog zog. Okay, this is cool looking.
Although in disrepair for as long as any living soul remembers, Duratir has gone from dilapidation to ruin in a matter of days. Werewolf berserkers, goaded by their anarchist kinfolk, seized the ziggurat of the sun, an ancient palace from before the wolf tribes won their freedom. The Temurians say that Duratir tends the fires of the sun itself. Unquestionably, their shamans have a certain flair with brimstone and molten rock. With the shamans of the Conclave ousted, however, the inexhaustible power of the city's volcano falls upon Duratir itself. I had come here once myself to steal the Crucible of Souls for the Pentanera. It had not been easy for one of my kind to deceive the ancestral spirits that guarded this artifact, but by guile and artifice, the cauldron was mine. Now I had cause to regret my lust for knowledge, for we would have been in far less peril had the Crucible of Souls never been taken.
Duratir, city of my ancestors. She who tends to the flames of the sun. Something's wrong. There should just be one burning river.
You harness lava in your city. I'm impressed, Tsar.
Come! We must reach the top of the ziggurat of the sun. Our foes will be there.
I like his trained observer there. It's like, oh, something must be wrong. It's like, are you saying that because the city looks like it's just been hit by a nuke? All right, I'm really hoping that we're going to see ourselves. Oh, actually, I wonder, can we trade some of this stuff to the Shadow Trader? Let's see what we can sell. Yeah, we can. Fucking sweet. Sell this shit. Sell all the whites we have here. This is good because we actually, we can just dump all this without spending too much time bothering to look over it. Of course, we have to go slot by slot because we can't possibly have a situation that is in any way streamlined. Game says, no, you may not have nice things. Okay, there's no such thing as a white cloak, I guess. Unless you're reading the Wheel of Time. Same with belts. Same with boots. Those slots all seem to be restricted to kind of magic pickups. Or at least they have been. So why am I checking both rings? Why am I struggling like this? Okay, there we go. We got a little bit of inventory space. I'm just going to do that as like a quick problem solving right now. And then I'll get a little bit more into figuring out what we should actually keep and what we should sell later. Okay, so it looks like the battle for the city might not be entirely over with yet. Is that guy going to be standing here? Oh, some dudes are going to be standing here.
I will claim your head!
You certainly did, Czar. Let's get a stun on him. Chip chop, motherfucker. Okay, so I have a hunch there might be a lot of fire damage on the field. Unseen cord. Now that strikes me as probably a necklace. It's level 14, so we can't use it anyway, but ooh, little dose of casting speed on there. That's pretty good. Now that we do have more than one caster, I mean, as it stands, aside from a couple of things like this where, you know, this guy here is required to sort of avoid undue notice, I haven't seen a lot of places where I would feel much like I needed to switch from just sort of my favorite characters, right? And that's not necessarily a weak point in the game. In fact, I find that to be sometimes a little bit more easygoing than a game that sort of forces you to engage with every character, even if you don't really enjoy their mechanics very much. Oh, this has gotten very choppy around here for some reason. I'm not sure why. Okay, so we are still seeing a lot of... Oh, that's going to be bad for some people. I mean, it was... Okay. Apparently we are playing pinball here as well. Okay, let's get our little enemy concentrator down. Okay, actually having a little trouble kiting properly here. Okay, concentrate up, guys. There we go. That's more like it. Remember to break some shit. We need silver. We're going to be wanting to mess with some essence around here. Okay, another one of these big old shaman. You want to play with fire? I'm specifically down with that. Stop trying to heal yourself. It's rude. Okay, let's get a landmine going. Where'd the other guy go? God damn it. Made me waste my landmine. I do not like that. Alright, I'm gonna switch here and just nuke that guy. Oh. Looking at my other monitor and not paying attention. Almost gave that guy the drop on me. Okay, so we've got a couple of entrances here now. Okay, let's get our concentrator down.
Mercy of the grave.
Let's try to line this up a little bit. There we go. Alright, I kind of... You know what, I will grab this, just because now that I realize I can sell to those Shadow Brokers, I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Like, I kind of had it in my mind that they only traded in items that were specific to the Shadow Demon, right? Like this guy. No reason why they would, I guess, because we loot normal stuff in the Shadow Realm. So I guess from that point of view, it didn't really make much sense what I was thinking there. And indeed, it turned out to be nonsense, so here we are. Okay, alright, we got a nicer stinger for my my Wasp character. I just want to backtrack a little bit. The usual, I keep forgetting how short range that little dash is. But yeah, the usual activity for this guy is backtracking, obviously. And we do have this little area right here that we didn't explore yet. For good reason, because there's these giant closed gates there now, thanks to the ball bearing thing. Alright, well, there's a lot going on here. We've found their big temple. We're gonna have to climb to the top. We're probably gonna get lit on fire a lot. At least I'm not seeing those werewolves. They're pretty tough to kill. We're seeing much more conventional opponents right now that don't sort of require bridging the Shadow Realm. But we're going to press on to the top of the Ziggurat of the Sun next time. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope I'll see you next time.